So in Jonestown, I lost my mother, Inez, who was 50 at the time she passed. My sister, Michelle, who was 25. My brother, Mark, who was 16. My niece, Danielle, my nephew, Duran, and then, of course, Joe. What haunted me the most was my sister asking for me, and did they in their last final moments when everything was falling upon them, did they think I knew and I left them? So that's what weighed on my heart and my spirit for years. Did they think that I knew what was going to happen and I abandoned them? For years, I put myself in situations where I was hoping somebody would kill me because I couldn't do it myself, right? There's one time about 2 years after Jonestown, I was sitting on my sitting in front of my laundry, cabinet on the floor of my apartment, and my grandfather had given me a .22, and I carried it everywhere I went. It wasn't everywhere I went that .22 was in my purse. And so I sat there and that gun was there and I put it to my head and I put it down and it was because it was Mother's Day and I was I cried so hard because I missed my mother so much. And I didn't want to be here. And I thought, but I can't kill myself because I have Jakari. Jakari fought to come in this world. I was in labor for 26 hours. He fought to come into the world. And so with that violence in the womb, the violence of People's Temple in meetings, witnessing fighting matches and people being hurt and people being yelled at, that violence. And then, of course, in Jonestown, because in Jonestown, what people fail to realize is that when you're running through the jungle with your kid in the middle of the night, jarred, woken, and you're putting your kid behind a table in the dirt, because they're half asleep, that's trauma for children. And to hear Jim's rambling on the nights that he would, over and over again, gunshots, the violence of the meetings, the conversation of the meetings, the energy of the camp, our children suffered. So my relationship with Jakari was typical of most parents in People's Temple. Most of the children, the younger children, were raised by other people. That was common. So again, that's Jim's way of kind of breaking that bond already. And so, although I had my son and he knew who I was, it wasn't a very close bond. Now our bond, because he's incarcerated, is closer, I think. There's a difference between the bond with Jakari and my children that I had after Jonestown. Because I was with them from the beginning from the beginning at birth.
What is he incarcerated for?
He loves guns. He loves guns. I don't mean to say he loves guns. It's been from shooting someone. Thank God no one's died, but that's it. Jakari suffers. He suffers. He suffers because my son was damaged. I ask God, please, please, please do not make me hard. Do not take away. Do not let me, do not let my ability to love disappear. Let me be compassionate. Let me be loving. Let me not be so hard because I was so hard in my anger. Let me try to be an example, an exposed person for the glory of God. I used to think in the beginning, possibly it was an experiment. And sometimes that's not too far from my mind because I truly believe that the government there had to be some involvement there. You don't let thousands of people leave, right? And all of a sudden there's this influx of sales of homes. And not just that, but what's really sad too is we have foster kids. There's foster children. And their parents may not even know they've had. You see how sad that is? And then the seniors. Why are all these people going to socialist country? That was the red flag. So he had influence somewhere. I don't doubt that he did. And probably, and certainly in the Guyanese government, because they were corrupt, right? But who else? Who else in the State Department? Because that's who's going to issue the passports, right? So who else is getting paid to allow all these people over. I believe it's a possibility that people were shot through the night, but I don't know from where. There was that first report that 500 had ran into the jungle. 500 is a lot of people to track down. Cyanide is a horrible death. So how are they laid just in the photos, right? That's just the same the next day. How are the bodies all so uniform and laid so peacefully? You see? So I don't know. Do I think others were involved? It's a possibility. Jim had no plan. He had no plans on dying, but he was shot in the head. And it could have been Marceline. Marceline, Jim's wife probably said, I've had enough of this. She was she was in an abusive relationship with him. And she probably, and I know she loved the babies. So I think it was way too much for her, you see? Because there was another plan that's on paper that states we're gonna go to, there's not enough food to last for everybody. So we're gonna go to, Cuba, leave everybody here, basically abandon us. Let the U.S. government come in and let Guyana pay for our way home. So there was alternate plans. That day, once the congressman was shot, he knew he had no other option. But did he plan on dying? I doubt that very seriously. Did he commit suicide? Hell no, he didn't commit suicide. Jim Joe was not going to commit suicide. But I think that was a plan. Part of me had to really accept any responsibility that I had, that when I was out recruiting people to come to the church, that some of those people may have perished in Jonestown, you see? And so there's an accountability that goes with that. But you don't just walk into an organization and say, I want to join a cult. Because when you're in that situation, you lose all of yourself. It takes so much just to hold on to a thread of your original self, your authentic self. It's a battle every day, and most of us lose it. So it only takes the right environment, right? This quiet storm of people feeling neglected, unloved, unheard, unappreciated, to create. I don't know if we'll ever see a Jonestown again, but I know that there were people willing to die and kill for Jim Jones. Can that happen again? Absolutely.